Hello, my name is Kimberly Poe. I'm the Children and Young Adult Consultant with the Connecticut State Library, and I'm here to talk to you a bit about our booking system today. So before we get to our booking system, in addition to this video, you're going to get this Wakelet page. Wakelet is just a web-based system that allows folks to save links and to put those links into almost channels or something that's in newsletter format so that you can save one link and have access to a whole host of items. So this is the Connecticut State Library Division of Library Development Handouts Wakelet page that I put together a little while ago. And this Wakelet page houses a bunch of links to various things that are going to help you use the Middletown Library Service Center more effectively. So we are going to scroll down on this Wakelet page a little bit, and you'll see that there's things like the link to the Children and Young Adult Services homepage, our LibGuides page. You'll see that there is a handout. It used to be what we would give folks a trifold to explain the Service Center a little bit, but because we are living in the digital world right now, we have a PDF of that. The application to put your library or school into our system, as well as information on who you send that to. Primo is our operating system. That is what you would go into to request different titles from us. We also have, if you want to check out book discussion sets, STEM kits, things like that, something that we call the booking system, although it may not be new at this point. So this first link here is a flyer just to tell you a little bit about it. It's something that you can share with other librarians in your library, other teachers in your school. But what we are going to hone in on today is the equipment catalog. And the term equipment might sound like tools. Like, I don't want tools from the Service Center. I am looking for books. But where that link takes you is to the booking system that I had previously shown you above that there was a flyer for. The booking system is where you go to check out, to request discussion sets, STEM kits, the current nutmegs, musical instruments, and we're going to get into all of that. Welcome to our booking system. When you click on that link, it defaults to show all. So this has 1,187 items, elementary discussion sets, high school discussion sets, so STEM kits, things like that. Now you are welcome to scroll through here and look to see what we have. If you're on the hunt for a classroom discussion set and it's a little easier to get a large chunk of those items from us at the Service Center and then supplement through your public library, you're welcome to scroll through. But what we have seen here just on this first page are board books, picture books, graphic novels, nonfiction titles, all of this in one space. So what I would suggest is honing in on exactly what it is that you are looking for using this category dropdown. So let's say that you are a middle school librarian, or you are looking for something for your middle grade book discussion group. So you would come here and you would click on middle school book discussions, but you'll see there are a lot of items here. We're going to touch base on one or two more of them. But so let's say we're looking for something for our middle school folks. You're going to click on that and you'll see that we've dropped down to 309 results because we've just pulled out the titles here that are reminiscent of this age group. So you are welcome to scroll through and kind of see what's here, or you can use our search feature. Now, a few things about this search feature. It is very specific. If you are typing something into the search feature, and if the title starts with the word the, know that we follow basic cataloging rules, and the comes at the end of the title, a comes at the end of the title. If you mistype that, it's not gonna show up. But if you were looking for Blended, say, by Sharon Draper, you can type it in and it's the only title that comes up. Once you've located a title that you're interested in for your classroom or discussion group, I highly suggest clicking on more details. You will see that availability is another item that you can click, but let's start with more details. So more details takes you to another page where you have an image of the book, you have title, author, some information, and then you have a discussion to tell you what the book is about if you're not sure. Maybe the cover just drew your eye to it. Another important thing to look at is down here, we have set contains, and it tells you how many copies of the title you get when you request this book discussion set. You will also see that we have there may be, it's not going to be for every title, but there may be something that says extra copies. What that means is we have another copy of Blended by Sharon Draper, but it is not part of the discussion sets. It's something that we additionally have in our individual books. We put that there because you might need more than 12 copies. So you can request the discussion set that holds 12 copies here, but then you can go in and you can also request the individual title as well. So how do we request an item? You'll see that Blended by Sharon Draper has been pulled out of the list of middle grade discussion sets, and it has been dropped at the top. On occasion, we'll have two sets, typically red and blue. If we do have two sets, it'll show up here under Set Contains, and then you'll also see two rows, one for let's say blended red set and one for blended blue set. So what we really like about the booking system is that you can actually book items up to 365 days in advance. So if you wanted to start using Blended in August, on August 15th of 2022, you could use the go-to date. You could scroll over to August of 2022, and you could pick the date. Now, the date that you are selecting is the date that you would like to have the item available for you to pick up. And we will touch base on that a little bit as well. Now you'll see this is all gone white, and it's because it takes a little bit to catch up. So we are now at August 10th, 2022, and it'll even tell you over here when we would need that item returned. It would need to be returned September 6th to give you an idea of the longevity with which you can hold this title. So I want to have Blended by August 10th, 2022. So you click and you see you've been taken down to the bottom of the screen where we've selected language fairly similar to an Amazon order, and you can click Add to Cart. My computer's taking its time. There we go. So you'll see that screens changed a little bit. So what's happened by default is if you wanted to add another title to your cart, it would default to being a title that you wanted to have August 10th, 2022. That's what's happened here. That's why the dates are gone, because it has defaulted to you putting any other titles in your cart for this same day. So let's say you want to do that. Let's say you see we've got our one item in the cart. If you hover over, it even shows you what's in there. Let's say we do want another title because you are the school librarian, and one class wants to read Blended and the other class wants to read something else. So we can go back to, actually, I'm going to use these features over here. So we're going to go back to middle grade discussion set, and we want to read The Bells, which is here because it was on the middle grade nutmeg list. Just in case some folks are wondering why something is in middle grade versus high school, The Bells was on the middle grade nutmeg list, and that's why it sits here where it sits. If that's something that's proving to be discouraging, you're going to the grade with which you think a book falls using the search feature for the title and you can't find it, then I suggest maybe just sticking in the show all section when you're using the search feature, so that way you don't really have to worry about navigating the categories. So We want the bells for a different classroom. And here's the perfect example. We've got 2 sets of the bells. We've got a blue set that contains 12 copies. We've got a red set that contains 8 copies. And yes, you can request both of them. So again, this has defaulted to picking up on October 10th. So let's go ahead, add to cart. Let's go back up. Now you have 2 items. Again, you hover and you'll see that both of them are there. Add to cart. And here we are. So these are all of the titles that we want available for us on August 10th, 2022. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on your cart. It's going to give you a breakdown of the titles that you have requested. It's going to give you the item, category, but what's most important for most of us, it's going to tell us when we get the item and when we have to give the item back. You are welcome to remove some titles if you've gotten this far and realize that you don't want any. So I'm not going to fill this out, but I'm going to explain to you what you need to do. This is where you put in first name, last name, who are you? Email, how do we get in touch with you? Library, agency, or school name. Put that information so that we can find you in our system. Now, what we get the most questions about is the Deliver It CT number. Every public library in Connecticut is on our Deliver It CT route. There are 191 public libraries, not including branches in the state of Connecticut. It is only feasible based off of the resources that the state library has available to them for us to make these deliveries to the public libraries. There is no feasible way that we can deliver to all public libraries, all elementary schools, all middle schools, all high schools, all universities. It's just not practical. So the Deliver It number is, as I like to say, the number to the public library of your choice. Every public library has been assigned a Deliver It number. For example, K-99 might be the Deliver It number for X public library in X, Connecticut. And that's the number that our Deliver It drivers use when they're sorting these items. What we suggest and what we ask of you to do is to contact the public library of your choice where you would like to pick up these items. It's just polite to inform them or to let them know that you would like to have discussion sets sent to their public library so that when a bag of items shows up with a name of someone who does not work in their public library system, someone was prepared for this. So you can call them and you can ask them for their Deliver It number. They can give it to you and you plug it in this space here. Or if for some reason that is just absolutely impossible, at the very least, please write the name of the public library where you would like the item picked up from, because we need to know where to send these items. Otherwise, the process will be slowed down because we'll have to email you, hunt you down, ask you for that information. Otherwise, we have no idea where to send it. You will also see that there is a comment section. Now, for those of you who live or work close enough to the Middletown Service Center to pick up your item, this is where you're going to say that. This is where you're going to say you'll pick up the item, what day and time you will do that so that we can have the items sitting outside and waiting for you for a curbside quick pickup. You would then click Submit My Booking, and that's it, and that's done. This whole process will be finished. All of these items will be gone, and these 3 titles will be available for you either on or a little before August 10th if we're sending them out to the service, if we're sending them out to a public library for you to pick up. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all. So there we go. We have requested 3 titles, but we also need some titles for November. So what you want to do is you want to fully complete a request for insert date here before starting another one. Now you can feasibly request discussion sets for the next 12 months today. You can feasibly know that you want to organize nutmeg voting at your library, and you can come into the current intermediate book discussion sets And you can request one of these for the next 12 months. You will have to do them individually because, again, once you've selected a date, it defaults to any other title that you select for that same day. So you would have to do them individually. But you can do that right now because you can request items for up to 365 days in advance. We also you can ask for a renewal if it looks like you're going to need a discussion set for a little bit longer. The only items that we cannot renew are the current nutmeg items because they have such a high turnover rate. Speaking of that, let me come in here because what I do want to show folks, so see, this is what I mean. Nutmegs are very popular. I just wanted to quickly point out that green means available. You hover over here and it tells you that it's available. Red means that the item is unavailable because it is currently checked out to someone else. So this is a perfect example of why we suggest people use these items. If you really wanted a clean getaway tomorrow, unfortunately, like someone's beat you to it, go a couple months out in advance, see when the item is going to be available, select it so that you have it booked and waiting for you, and then you can work on whatever the lesson plan will be or discussion questions for whenever you are able to access that title. So in addition to books, this is also the space where you would select book props for those of you who work with our little guys. Now, a book prop, Bark George is my favorite, so let's come in here and take a look at that. When you click on more details, which is why I always suggest clicking more details instead of availability. Availability is not going to show you any of this stuff. It's just going to show you the dates that you can book the item. But if you're wondering what's in the book prop set for Bark George, you'll get the title, author, and a little description. And then we'll also tell you exactly what's going to come in this discussion set. You're going to get Bark George the book. You're going to get a Velcro square because this isn't felt. I call it felt because my mouth just defaults there. But it's like soft material with strips of Velcro on the back. So you're going to get a big Velcro square. They're typically blue, and that's what you're going to hang up on your wall or easel. And then you're going to get, mother, George, cat, pig, cow. You're also going to get the words meow, quack, oink, moo, because anyone who knows the title knows that George does everything but bark. You are going to get a purple glove. Oh, for the doctor. And you're going to get a vet tag. I'm remembering this as I'm going through it. So scrolling down, you'll see that we actually have 4 copies or 4 totes for Bark George. Over here, looks like someone's requested the item. So one of these is not available as of Sunday the 3rd. And I know we don't really do weekends, so I'm sorry for the weekends that are there, but there you go. And you'll see that we do have folks requesting those. So we have book props that can be requested through this medium. Graphic novels are pulled out because some folks don't actually care about the breakdown. They just know that their group wants graphic novels, so they go straight there. We do have some adult book discussion sets that have been donated to us by other libraries. So if you work with adults, then that's there as well. STEM kits are pretty explanatory. Storyteller, but let's go ahead and click on those. I know that's something that a lot of people want to know about. So again, I suggest clicking on, I'm trying to find one that's not going to be too intense. I suggest clicking on more details, but let me show you what happens when you click just availability. This is all you get. You're not going to know what comes in the kit. So it's there if it's a kit that you've had before, so you already know what's in there. But if this is your first time requesting that, again, I highly suggest the more details so that you know exactly what you're getting. You get a description of what the item is, and it tells you what's going to come with it. And this is an actual picture of what we are sending you. This was taken by like us at the service center. So you're going to get a tip sheet, 7 bolt robots, 7 charging bases, 7 USB cables, and 7 clock/compasses. That's these. And yep, they come in handy because I had to figure out how these worked, and they will be necessary. So the system is going to work the same. Scroll to or pick whatever date it is that you like, click add to cart, and then it'll show up here in your cart. You'll see that these go. People want our STEM kits. Once upon a time, in a before COVID date, all of this would be red, all of it. It's even possible if someone isn't comfortable with some of these items because they've never used them, request them for you to use them and figure out how they work. Then also request a couple of months down the road to actually use them with a group of patrons or students. That's totally okay. One thing that I would like to point out, it's the newest item, and folks tend to get them mixed up. So what I have been showing you are discussion sets. You'll see the words discussion sets in here, but we also have something called book bundles. We have middle grade book bundles and we have YA book bundles, and I believe we do 5 of each. So again, we have the description of what these are. And a book bundle, unlike a discussion set, it is an assortment of individual titles. So just like the picture here, we're not going to send you 12 copies of the book blended. We will send you 25 random books. We find this to be helpful for smaller libraries that maybe don't have a large budget. What we suggest someone do if your library does not have a robust collection of, say, historical fiction, and you need some more titles, you can put in the comment section where I previously said you could list that you were going to pick up the set. You could put in the comment section, please send historical fiction and newer titles. And then we know that when we put together 25 random titles for you, you primarily would like historical fiction and newer things, because let's say you just didn't have the budget to purchase a whole lot. The process is going to be the same. You pick the day that you want them and we send them out to you. What I do like about the book bundles, it's not the same for the other sets. The book bundles go out for 3 months. The purpose of these is to send home with your young ones, with your middle graders and your teens. So a return date such as 30 days in the future or 45 days in the future is unfeasible. So of the items that you will find here in our equipment catalog, the book bundles are the only items that go out for 3 months, I think. No, that's not exactly true. The book bundles are one of the only items that go out for 3 months. The Mother Goose Story Hour kits go out for 3 months, but most of the other items here go out for 30 days or 45. And that's how this system works. You can easily sort of navigate between the pages that we've looked at today by using the items in this blue bar here. If you want to go back to show all, excuse me, just let me roll down here. If you want to go back to show all, you can either click on it here, or you could have just clicked on, that's not right either. Or you could have just clicked on equipment catalog up here in this blue row. But again, one of the most important things to remember is the A, all of these items need to be at the back of your title. It is very finicky. It is very easy to type something in search for equipment and not find it, because the system is just very particular. It's a little glitch. It's a little glitch. Worst case scenario, you just scroll through. You know the title of the book that you're looking for. So you know, just scroll to where it may be alphabetically and look for it. That's probably the best bet. But here it is. This is how you can use our system to request your own discussion sets, to suggest that your teachers look at what we have available as they're planning classroom reads. It'll be a lot simpler for the person, it's typically the school librarian or the children's librarian. It's a lot easier for that person to be able to come to the service center, get 15 copies of The Blossoming Universe of Violet Diamond, and then perhaps reach out to a public library for the other 5 that you need, or purchase 5 instead of 15 for the classroom set that you need. I hope this has helped folks understand our equipment catalog, our booking system a little bit better. We want to set you up for success, and we want you all to be able to access the things you need when you need them and not have to wait for someone else to take care of that for you. And as always, there are no fines at the service center. We just ask that if something is lost, you do the best you can to get it back from the child, or ask them to send up a replacement. And then we can take care of it there. There is no blacklist. There is no point with which you are cut off from accessing our services. We are here to help support and do the best we can. Thank you for listening, and I hope this has been helpful for some of you.